So this is a training on our ReadTech Navigator for Medical Devices tool. This is our main login screen where you'll enter your username and password and sign in. And then you'll see the NavMD homepage. What you'll see come up for me might look a little different from what you have set up based on the subscription package and included features you've chosen. You'll notice there's a green bar along the top of your homepage, which means we may have added a new feature, and you can click here, the view details, to learn more about that. Here on my homepage, there is a product search, a product watch list, clearance search, clearance watch list, some setting options, my alerts inbox, and some advanced searching and support and feedback. We'll go over each of these a little further in a moment. All the same options are mirrored at the top on the toolbar so that when you navigate to a specific section on the toolbar, options will remain at the top, allowing you to move more easily through the site rather than having to return to the home page to change selections. The support and feedback section is if you have any questions or feedback on the tool you'd like help with or to share. And then finally, there's an extra settings and sign out feature at the top. I'm going to start with the product search. You'll notice that we offer many ways to search for a product. An important thing to note is that you can fill out as many or as few of these fields you have, depending on how much information you have on hand about the specific product you're searching. For example, if you're searching one of your own products and you already have the K number, that's going to be the most direct way to search. But you can also search something more vague, like knee replacement. I'm going to do a product search for aortic stent. We'll leave it vague for now and see what comes up. You'll notice that 141 items come up under the aortic stent search. Each of these are different types of products that all fall under the aortic stent category. So on the left, we have several options to help filter and organize the data that comes up. There's a refine by box if you wanted to now search for something more specific within this particular set of items. For example, if you wanted to filter by material type. And then we have drop-down options to help further filter the data. You could open these up and specify certain manufacturers, product codes, GMDM terms, and product risk types. Finally, there's also a sort by option above the data that can help further sort your search results. I'm going to open up a product and show the product data page and what that will look like. This is the product overview. In the top left, it'll include the name of the device, the manufacturer name, GMDM term, and product codes. On this main page, you'll also have information that defaults to a 1-year data range. If you want to look at data from a different period of time, you can make that change here. Looking at what's along this page for this 1-year overview, you can see the adverse events, patient problems, device problems, all of the recall event information, as well as if there are warning letters or events pertaining to recall events. And then finally, a graph available for adverse events per month. Coming up for a little bit further information, you can click into the left drop-down, the product information. We'll go with product classification. This is where we can get into the individual parts of the product and application. Anywhere within this tool that you see these blue links, it will link you directly out to the FDA site where this information is pulled. We're giving a good summary within the tool, but you can always follow these links to see the full information reported to the FDA. Below our summary, you can see the product code information showing if it's a cleared 510K, as well as information about the product, such as if it's implantable, GMP exempt, etc. Then we also have information on the product names. This shows if the product has been sold under any different names. This can be information that's hard to find in the FDA database, as product pages are often not linked together, and therefore there's not a clean way to know they're all the same product. Then we have some regulatory submission information. It's rare that a product would have both an approval and clearance. For example, this product has an approval and all the information along with that approval. But if we click into the clearance, it'll show that there are no clearances for this particular product. Next, we have the safety information. We have adverse events, recalls, and warning letters. We click into the adverse events. You'll see that, again, this data will have a default range, this time of 5 years. But again, you can change that to whatever date range you'd like. One thing to note, all of the graphs within our Navigator tool can be downloaded and used within your own reporting. This first graph shows the adverse events per month. The next is showing adverse events over a year span. The graph on the right here, the adverse event report percent mix benchmark, is showing adverse events of this product in comparison to the industry average. This is determined by the FDA product code. So all aortic stents with the same product code as this product are found within these industry averages. Next, we also have a failure mode and risk analysis, which further shows detailed information on the adverse events reported. We can see the top device, patient, and manufacturer evaluation results reported. You'll notice on these graphs that while it is a percent current selected product versus a percent industry average, the two don't add up to 100%. This is because a single adverse event report could include multiple device problems or patient problems, and they are all included. This graph is saying that this percent of all adverse event reports included this problem calcifying. That same report could also include a break or another problem. So that might end up adding up to over 100%. So you want to look at these individually as percent of all reports. Finally, we have a record search. This has details of each report. These allow you to filter by event type or problem and read deeper on that specific adverse event report. You can also download this table if you click this top right section. We have a similar setup for recalls. You can start with the trends and benchmark. This first graph shows recall events, and if you hover over the graph, you can show further information. So this is saying on the left, on the y-axis, the number of recall events, and then hovering over the bubbles shows how many units were recalled. Below this graph is the top recall reasons. This is helpful because it can show if there was a problem with the product manufacturing itself or something else like incorrect labeling or registration. If we click into the recalls record search, you can see a similar record listing of all of the recalls that you can click in and read further on. And finally, we have warning letters. If there are any warning letters, they would be shown here. It's rare that these are issued directly to a product, so they're typically issued to a company. And so if they are publicly available, they'll be shown here, but otherwise they aren't always presented to the public. Next, we can look at the clearance searches. So since I'm already in the products page, I can go directly to my toolbar under the search bar and go to clearances. Just like the product search, there are many fields you can use to search a category of devices as specifically or vaguely as you'd like. If we put in knee replacements here and search, you'll see the result page will come up very similar to the product result page. You have several ways, again, to refine and filter your results, including the product codes or the dates that the particular clearances were decided. If you click into a product from the search, you'll see again the product overview. First, there is the product name, manufacturer name, product code, and decision date of the particular product clearance. And just like the product search version, there's an overview section with a little deeper information that you can look into, such as predicates and successors, showing any products that list this product as a predicate as well as any successors of this product. Any recall data, if there is any, is reported, if there is any reported, as compared to any other products with the same product code would fall under our recall overview, as well as our adverse events overview, which can be again filtered by date range, guidance documents, if available, and any associated products. Next, we'll look at creating a watch list. I'm going to use the knee replacement search again. So I'm going to go down to my products and I will search knee replacements, this time under products. A watch list allows you to keep an eye on specific products and be notified when new recalls or adverse event reports are submitted. A product watch list also is the best way to compare products. If you get this product and decide you want to include, if you search a product and decide you want to include it in one of your watch lists, you can search, and then directly to the right, you'll see a way to add it to your watch list. So if it's already added, you'll see a check mark. This one's already on my watch list, but maybe I want to add this next product. So I would click down, I would find the particular watch list I want this added to, and I would click add. Now, similarly, if you no longer want to have a product on your watch list, it's as simple as taking it off with hitting the negative. Okay, once added, you can go up to your watch list tab, and these are a product watch list, so I'll click that. Filter by the particular watch list I want, which is already on, it's knee replacement watch list. And you can see all of the products that I have on this particular watch list. Now here is where you can look into our events, adverse events reports, recalls, and comparisons. At this time, you can compare up to 7 products at once within a particular watch list. You can have as many products as you want on the watch list itself, and we'll get alerts on all of those products. But if there are more than 7, you'll need to select 7 or less to compare when using the comparison feature. So for this purposes, I will select just a few because I have 8 on my watch list, and so I can't compare all of them. We'll compare 4. So once I've clicked on the 4 that I want to compare, I'll go into our adverse event report. Similar to our records, the adverse event report will show all of the possible adverse event recalls and comparisons that I have of only the products that I have selected. So similar to those report records, you can filter out and search by any of these top filters. Recall is the same format. So again, I can filter out by any of these, by product code, manufacturer, and look deeper into the actual report itself. And then we have the comparison tab. These are similar to the charts we saw before on the product and industry average, only this time comparing only the selected products. As before, you can always hover over the selections of the graph to understand further what the graphs are showing. We have recall events chart, where again, the y-axis is the number of separate recall events by selected product, and the bubble shows how many units are recalled. So this particular graph is showing that while there were both products only had 2 recall events, they were of different sizes, whereas this one had over 8,000 units recalled, and this one had over 25,000 units recalled, which could be important information. As always, you can export any of these graphs for your reporting or internal presentation. Coming down, you can see our next 2 graph types. Here's the top device problems reported and top patient problems reported. With these graphs, you can click on, you can hover over to see the breakdown of the different types of events, or you can come down here and click each of these events and see just a graph showing that specific event. And finally, we have adverse events by month for the selected products. Again, you can filter out or in any of the different products. Next, we can talk about alerts. For your watch list, you can set up alerts for specific products or clearances. When there's a voluntary adverse event, device problem, or recall, you will get an alert about that recall. So you can go into your alerts and into your settings, and here's where you can set up any of the settings for your alerts. So if you look down, you can see that all of my settings are enabled, and that would be over here, there's an enable all or disable all, or you can click in to very specific settings for each of the products. What will happen is when any event has a particular recall, you will get you can get a notification in your alerts inbox, which is found on your homepage. You can also choose to come to the email notifications and decide to turn on or off your email alerts. This would send an email alert to your personal email inbox, letting you know that there are alerts from your watch list within your Navigator inbox. And then when you signed into Navigator, you would be able to see how many alerts you have and directly receive them there.